And welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Kenya, full-time traveling boy mom, sharing what it's like to live abroad. Today we have Kimberly. She's living abroad as well, and I wanted to interview her to just get a little bit of her experience, what it's like living abroad in Mexico. Okay?
Yeah.
So can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about where you're from and things like that?
Sure. So my name is Kimberly. I am Kimberly P. on the socials. I've been living abroad for about 8 years now. I'm originally from New York City. I never wanted to live in the States. Ever since I was a little girl, I've always wanted to live abroad. So my first trip was to Italy. Yeah. I got my foot wet in Italy,
Okay.
and I spent a month in Italy. So I really got a chance to see what it's like to live like a local in a different country. And from there, like I got a spark of inspiration that I needed to find my way out of the U.S. and find the country that's for me. So that's where my journey began. And for 8 years, I had been searching for the right country for myself that suits me the best. I've been to, like I said, Italy. I've been to Mexico, Turkey, Portugal. I've been to Dubai. I've been to different like popular countries. And I think Mexico is it for me.
Really?
Yeah. Mexico is my country. It's my vibe.
Oh, that's beautiful.
For now.
Yeah.
We can change, we evolve, right?
Right.
But for now, like Mexico is it for me.
That's beautiful. Okay, I want to ask you, what inspired you to leave your home country and move to Mexico? Well, you were already traveling.
I was already traveling, but that is a great question because Mexico, I was already traveling, and I was just traveling on a whim. I didn't really have a plan or a strategy. I just knew I needed to get out. So I took a leap of faith actually when it came to Mexico. I just booked a one-way ticket. I had very little money. I think I had just $100.
No, you didn't.
I am serious. I did. I'm not making this story up. I had just $100, and I just had a prayer book,
Yeah.
and I prayed. I said, I know what I want. I think it's out there in Mexico because I started my journey in Mexico in Playa del Carmen.
Okay, yeah, you did
Mexico,
tell me that.
yeah. At the time, I think it was 2019. Yeah, it was 2019. Mexico. Sorry about that. 2019. It was. I started out in Playa del Carmen, and Playa del Carmen at the time was pretty cheap.
Okay.
So I figured if I could find a place to lodge for free, could kind of like navigate the rest with my little $100. So I stayed in Playa del Carmen for about 3 weeks. What I did for stay was I volunteered, like I did a work exchange. Yeah. You do some work, like you do some work, and then you basically get like a bed or something to stay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did that, and I was having a good time. I was enjoying myself. I never thought to myself like, hey, you kind of got to figure things out. You're in a foreign country. You don't speak the language. You have no one here.
You were just flowing.
I was just flowing.
That's good.
I was really just flowing. I was so happy that I couldn't even get myself to sit and strategize. Like, honestly, I'm the irresponsible adult. Like, I claim it at this point
Yeah.
because I've gotten far, even though I've gone on a whim. Yeah. So with that, I spent 3 weeks work exchange in the center of Playa del Carmen. After about a month of doing this work exchange in the center of Playa del Carmen, I had to go somewhere else. I couldn't stay and do the work exchange for any longer. So I went back to my prayer book and I said, listen, I like it here.
I love that.
Yeah, I like it here. I've got a beach. All I need is, I need lodging, I need food, I need all my things taken care of. I need laundry and all the things taken care of so that I could continue to live here, and then the rest will work itself out, right?
So that's faith.
Literally, my story is all
Walk
about
by faith.
all
For
about
sure.
traveling by faith and walking
Yes.
by faith. Yeah, so I took my prayer book, and what I did was I was inspired to just reach out to hotels in the area, and I reached out to maybe 10 or 20 hotels, and only one got back to me. And it was a meditation resort, actually, in the jungle of Playa del Carmen. So if you've ever been to Playa del Carmen, you know that Playa del Carmen, there's a road that splits the jungle and the beach. So you could either be like close to the beach or close to the jungle if you live in Playa del Carmen. So I went from being close to the beach to being deep inside of the jungle. Yeah, and it was a life-changing experience. Yeah, it was really transformative for me because it's a meditation resort and it's also a retreat center. So a lot of what I did another work exchange there, volunteered, and all the things that I had prayed for, which was like food, lodging, laundry. They took care of everything. So I had time to like really decompress and like recenter myself or get to know myself better, I should say, because I was there with lots of baggage, weight, programming that I never consciously took care of. And I had no choice but to do so because right after COVID started.
And I feel like a lot of people travel and come and live abroad with that baggage. They don't know that they have it, but we all come with something that we need to like unpack and transform into something else. I do want to ask you though, how has your experience been in Mexico as a black woman?
That one's as a black woman in Mexico, I would say Mexicans, for one, have treated me very well. I never really experienced racism. Other people I've heard have experienced racism, but I think I actually have a strategy when it comes to experiencing racism. I like to tell myself that like it just doesn't happen for me. Like racism just doesn't reach
Like
me.
they love me.
Like they really love me. I'm delusional about it.
That's how I am.
And so if they did something racist, like it probably went right over my head.
Okay.
And I just focused on the person who was really showing me love.
Okay.
And that has very, very much impacted my experience in Mexico, because if you want to have a positive experience in Mexico, it's really going to have to start with you and how you think and how you choose to see the lenses that you carry here in Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And so do you feel like that has shaped your identity as a person, like living out here, or?
For sure, it has shaped my identity living out here. You have no choice but to kind of shape shift when you're abroad, because you may have thought one way, but the society is different here, right. So you're pushed to think another way, to see things a different way. You have to adjust. Right. So with adjustments, your identity is always like shifting and taking new forms, which is fun.
Yeah, you're picking up different things that you learn from different places and adding it to your like repertoire of personality. Yeah. Like, oh, I like how they do whatever. Like, let me change the way that I do certain things, because coming from the U.S., it's kind of like we're taught to do things a certain way, or we grew up thinking that things go one way, and then when you travel, it's like I don't know, what is it?
Yeah.
It's like you start gaining like maybe like not a new identity, or once you start learning more about yourself.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
After a year of living in Mexico, the first time I left, I started putting my toilet tissues in the trash bin, and I was like, oh wait, I can't do that here. Yeah, over here in Mexico, they ask you not to throw your
Down the
your
toilet.
your paper down the toilet. Yeah.
Okay.
So I picked up Mexican brain, and I started doing that in the States, and then I was like, nobody checks me for it, but I had to check myself. Like, oh, you're not in Mexico anymore. You have to actually put this in flush this down.
Okay, and that goes into my next question. Have you experienced any unexpected challenges while being here?
Ooh, unexpected challenges. For sure, for sure. Challenges, of course, with the language.
Okay.
Yeah, when I first came, my Spanish wasn't too good, but I must say that Mexicans are very nice, very gracious,
Warm, yeah.
warm. So this is a really good place to come if your Spanish is not too good. They're not gonna laugh in your face, or if they do laugh or chuckle, this because they think it's cute, like what you
Yeah.
said, the way you said it was cute, and they're kind of afraid to correct you. So you have to ask them to correct you. So yeah, that was an unexpected challenge. Also, like doing the currency exchange, that took a few months for me to get a hang of. What I like to do is just divide whatever the currency exchange rate is. I just divide it. Like for example, if Mexican dollar is if it's 20 pesos to a dollar, then I'll just say, okay, if something costs like 100 pesos, I'll just divide that 100 by 20, and I'll know like each dollar, yeah, will be the currency exchange. So that means whatever I'm paying for, it's $5. So the currency exchange fluctuates. So it might be 18 or 19, but I get a guesstimate by doing that.
Okay. And then another question. How do you feel like the locals react to your presence? Do you think they're curious, or how do you feel like they react to your presence?
Yeah, Mexicans are curious. Oh, they are curious. I haven't had anyone just like try to grab my hair like I did in Italy
I was gonna say, or China.
or China. You've been to China? Yeah, no. I've had foreign Europeans, other people from other countries here like try to grab my hair.
Wow.
But Mexicans will always ask.
Okay.
Like politeness is their badge of honor. Like
I love that they do buenos dias, buenas noches, buenas tardes, like everybody. That's their greeting first before saying anything to you. Yeah.
politeness, like being polite, being friendly is their badge of honor. So they don't touch my hair or anything unless they ask, and depending on how I feel, I let them do it.
Okay. I've noticed here it is a lot of black expats. It's a lot of women here. How do you feel like you have maintained your sense of community while being here?
I'm not very social.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't go out of my way to keep a community, close knit community. Like I conversations like this, just with just one person, one or two people. It's just my thing.
Right. Are you more introverted?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I was very intentional about being open towards like the locals and mingling with the locals, or just like understanding them, because there are a lot of Mexican locals who speak English, or if they don't speak English, like I could speak a little bit of Spanish to get to know them more. So I didn't want to laser focus on being with like an expat community.
Yeah.
I don't have too much of a social bandwidth,
Okay.
so like it's not
Okay, time to go.
it's not very wide. It's not very wide. So I need what I do, the little bit that I do have, I give it to locals or little intimate conversations like this.
Okay. Very intentional.
Very intentional.
Okay. I've noticed a lot of, not to put it out there, but I have noticed like a lot of expat groups can get a little like messy,
Yes.
and I can't deal with that.
Yeah, because some of us haven't detached from
The US.
Like we're kind of bringing our problems to getting together and bringing the issue to Mexico and just hyper focusing on that issue. But we need to realize like, hey, we're here. Like we gotten out. You know, like we got.
You've escaped.
Yeah, you've escaped. It's okay.
Release.
Yeah.
Okay, so that goes into the next question. How does peace or freedom look like to you now that you're outside of the U.S.?
What day is it? First of all, what day is it today?
Yes.
Today is either Friday. Okay. to start. Like you don't know which day it is. Yeah.
Wow.
We don't know what day it is. And if it is Friday or Monday, like you just have control of your time. Like you can come out and, you know, grab a coffee with a friend. Yeah. At 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock on a Friday, you know, and go out maybe later at 4, at 3. Like you don't have any constraints. Like that's what freedom looks like. Like if you're here and you're coming in as a digital nomad and you're doing your work, you may have to organize your schedule so that you can have that type of freedom. But if not, you're just free flowing. Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Okay. Another question is, what advice would you give to other people that are looking to escape or relocate or just try living abroad? What advice would you give to them? Maybe 3 steps that they could take, you know?
3 steps?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. All right. So 3 steps. First, it's going to have to be a mental thing, right? Like, yes, the practical steps are very important, but as I'm going to give advice from my own experience, and I would have to say that you really have to accept that the U.S. has its issues, comes with its own batch of issues, and if you come to Mexico, it'll have their own. They have their own batch of issues, right? So you just have to accept that no matter where you go, there's issues. Yeah, you may find some things are better, or like you prefer other things over other things that you have in your country. But nonetheless, like you're still gonna face challenges this time. Like you most likely will face challenges that are more personal. Like you may be more conscious, may be more aware of yourself.
Face yourself.
You have to face yourself because you may be worried about how you came across someone or how you were perceived. So you're going to be hyper focused on these little things, and you're also going to have to accept again. So really going to have to practice acceptance, accepting your country, accepting yourself, right? And you don't have to finish accepting, like you don't have to finish this like inner work of accepting yourself. You just have to get into the practice, because this is going to make a world difference in your experience abroad, wherever you go, right? Acceptance. Okay, so that would be my first one. Now, second one, what country, like if you were to just sit back and, you know, just tune everything out, just ask yourself, what country really suits me? And you may not get an answer straightforward, but just be attentive to the signs. Like, is one country coming up on your feed a lot? Like, do you feel excited when you hear about this country? That might be the place where you need to start, right? And that's maybe the place that you need to book the ticket to. That may be the place that you need to research, like how long you could stay, you know, and this is how your journey will begin, right? Research. But first, like, inner search, like, what country really gets my resonates with you, like something about it, you know, you don't know what it is, but something about it just calls you, draws you in. Yeah, that's your first place to start. That might not be your one and only country, your one and done country,
Right.
but it's the place to start,
Like your first landing ground or landing place. But yeah, I feel like Mexico was for maybe years. I'm like, Mexico, Mexico, Mexico. I told everybody. I'm like, this will be my first stop though, because I know this is not like the end all be all. But I love Mexico, and I've always wanted to learn Spanish. And I'm like, I'm gonna be fluent by the time I leave here. So Mexico is just, I feel like it's a good first stop. But like you said, whatever resonates with you.
Yeah.
Okay, and then your third step.
My third step
Piece of advice.
Would be pack up. No, actually pack up. No, seriously.
Okay.
Because so many people, like, they get blocked at the research point. Like the research phase, like, doubts. You get excited, inspired, and then doubts, fears start to clutter your mind. But if you start to act and show yourself, like, no, I'm really about this.
Yeah.
That's what packing will do for you.
You have to trick your mind.
You really do have to trick your mind. Like, I didn't even know when I decided that I was going to leave. I didn't even really know, wasn't even sure if it was going to be Mexico. I just knew that so we got to start somewhere. So let's start packing, because that's what if you're going to say you're going to move, what's the first step in moving?
Yeah.
Pack it up. So yeah, pack, and then take the next step and the next step and the next step. Yeah. So those are my 3 things.
Okay. Let's see what the next question is. Okay. What is one thing that you wish you knew before coming here?
One thing I wish I knew before coming here was that people were gonna think you're crazy for like being in another country, and a lot of people were gonna ask you questions as to like why Mexico? What are you doing here? Isn't there? Aren't you worried about drugs, trafficking, and all this other stuff? And at first, like, it caught me off guard because I was living in such a sweet experience in Mexico. Like, it never crossed my mind that I had to worry about drugs and things. So it was kind of like off-putting that I was getting those responses. Like, what? But I wish I knew that it's okay. Like, everyone's kind of getting information and from the news. They're not actually on the ground. They don't know that Mexicans are living life like the way Americans are just living life. They're just going about their day, like, making ends meet, like working.
I want to answer this question too.
Oh yeah, okay.
I want people to know, like, Mexico is beautiful, right? The Mexicans are so just nice and warm and welcoming. And it's really not like what you see on TV. I know a lot of people, when I was choosing Mexico, they were like, why ew? Like, almost like, ew, why Mexico? Like, it was just the worst place to ever go. Yeah. Like, the cartel is going to kidnap you.
Yeah, exactly.
And since I've been here, I want to show people what it's like. Like, the malls here are really nice. Like, houses are nice. People drive nice cars, like Range Rovers that have, what's the Elon Musk car, that big cyber truck. But they have stuff here that we have back at home. So
Mexico's one of the richest Latin American countries.
Exactly.
If not the first. Yeah, it's the richest
People don't know that though.
Latin American countries. Yeah. And I think Mexicans rather keep it low key.
Right. Like, don't bring that over here.
Yeah. They don't, it's not in their culture to boast about themselves. Very humble. I mean, you got some people who probably boast about themselves in their intimate circles, but to show, like, to have pride in, like, who they, like, boasting to show the world, like, who they are, I don't think it's there. I don't think that's part of their culture, in my opinion.
And so I want to say thank you for joining the interview today. I just want to give people a little bit of insight about what it's like living here as a Black woman. You've traveled many places, and maybe we'll get into that in another interview, because I need all the tips.
Yes.
Because Colombia,
Yeah.
top tier. I loved it. But yeah, so thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Have a good day. Bye bye.
I